We're back now on Weather Command, and it is Hurricane HQ week here at Fox Weather. And today we're zeroing in on how to stay ready before a storm hits. Storm surge happens when powerful hurricane wind forces ocean water inland, sending sea levels rising. It's one of the most dangerous threats a hurricane can bring, causing severe and even deadly flooding along coastal areas. In Florida, an Aquafence protects Tampa General Hospital from storm surge. Here it is in action during Hurricane Milton last year. It's a tall, temporary barrier that keeps the floodwaters out.
Yeah, Dustin Pasteur from Tampa General Hospital is joining us this morning. He is the Senior Vice President of Facilities and Construction. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Dustin.
Sure. Good morning to you all.
So this is a brilliant idea. I lived in Houston for a long time. The Med Center there is known for flooding, just like Tampa is. And when you think about the success that you guys have had at Tampa General, I mean, talk about the process, how it all came about, and how you feel this could be used for other hospitals.
Absolutely. I mean, Tampa General is a 100-year-old facility on an island in downtown Tampa. So we've always known that there's a risk. We've had plans in place for many, many years on what to do if the first floor floods and how to keep operational. But when we encountered the Aquafence product about 5 years ago and realized that we could take our risk from 6 or 8 feet above sea level to 15 feet above sea level, for us, it was a no-brainer. We had to investigate that, and we ultimately devised this plan with Aquafence to design a perimeter around the hospital that allows us to take our surge protection level up to 15 feet, which for us is an enormous boost in resiliency versus what we had before.
Wow, up to 15 feet. That really is incredible. I'm looking, of course, at the images of the Aquafence. Curious to know what it's made out of.
So it's made out of a composite wood material so that it's lightweight enough that we can handle it, but it's sturdy enough to take impact. And it deploys in a folded, you fold them down flat and you can pack them into crates and store them. And then our team stands them up, as you can see there on the screen, into these L shapes. And actually the base of the L takes the weight of the water, and that's actually what holds up the wall. The more water there is, the stronger the system becomes. And that's kind of the magic of it.
Wow. Yeah, especially because a lot of folks don't really pause to think about what's in storm surge. There is a lot of debris, and so to have that force fortify the wall, it does make for just a beautiful combination of science protecting everyone. I do wonder, once you go into mode and it's up, how long does it take to put in place? But after that, how do you access to get in? Because obviously medical emergencies happen during the hurricane. How do you get the patients there?
That's a great question. So it takes us about 3 days to set it up, but we really like to have 4 days so we have one last day to really check everything several times. But our campus is set up in a way where our newest building was built out of the floodplain in 2007. And so there's a ramp that goes up to the emergency department that we never shut down. So anytime when the fence is up or when it's not, you can get to the emergency department. You could even technically get to it by boat if you were flooded. So we always have access to emergency. For staff, we actually have a bridge that goes over the Aquafence from the garage directly onto campus. So about 6 or 8 hours before the storm actually hits, we'll close up the last few openings and we can get in and out through the bridges.
Wow, it's just so fascinating to hear how this all comes about. I mean, in terms of a looming threat of a tropical system, how does the hospital decide when it's actually necessary to deploy the Aquafence? What is that threshold?
So in previous years, we would kind of decide 5 days out. If we were anywhere near the cone, we would deploy. But it's become, it's such a task to set it up and take it down. And we haven't had a year since we've owned it that we haven't set it up. That I think this year we're deciding that we're probably going to set it up in late July or early August and just keep it up through the season. Yeah. Because I think it's, then you're not in a rush and it's better safe than sorry. So I think that's probably how we'll start to do that moving forward.
Yeah, it's interesting to see you guys evolve now that you've had it for 5 years, fine-tuning what works best. I mean, many times if we have a system that develops in the Gulf, you have less than 3 days to prepare. So when you think about that timeline, I can understand why you might want to just invest the time to put it up and leave the gaps open, and then you can focus on the gaps as you get closer. What's your best recommendation for other cities, in terms of putting money into a product like this and how you've seen it help your hospital?
Well, yeah, we've had a lot of municipalities reach out since the storms last year, other hospitals, of course, big businesses that have called to protect their facilities. And I think anybody that's got the resources to use a product like this should absolutely investigate it. The most important thing, though, is installation. You have to be able to find and train a crew to do it, because obviously the system's only as good as the installation and the people who put it together. So I think that it's a tremendous resource for organizations that can afford to do it and have the space to implement it, and that can have a team to install it for them. I would absolutely recommend it, and we do, to anybody that calls us.
Yeah, I mean, a phenomenal product, certainly, and for so many other communities and also hospitals like yourself to implement. I'm curious, though, we're just 3 days now into the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season. How else are you all preparing for hurricane season this year?
So we've been preparing for hurricanes for 20 years here. I've been here 15 years. We've got layers and layers of redundancies behind the Aquafence. It's literally the first line of defense, and we've got other floodproofing measures behind it. We've got pumps for pumping out rainwater, but we also have 100% backup emergency power, so we can go completely independent from the grid. Last year, we installed 2 new wells, so we can get well water in case we lose city water. We bring in 5 days worth of food and literally hundreds of other things we do to prepare for storms, because we have to assume that we might have to function on our own for up to a week in some cases if we were to have a really bad storm. And so we've been preparing ourselves to be able to do that, an island within the island.
I always say there's no state that takes on hurricane prep like Florida. And it is incredible how you guys approach hurricane preparedness, and you're very proactive instead of reactive, and I applaud that. It's really the best way to move forward. So thank you for taking the time to speak to us. I think for viewers that are watching us, find your own family watered down version of what the hospital does. Yeah. Obviously, you're not going to build an Aquafence around your house, but taking that mindset, you can relate it to your personal life and come back stronger. Tampa General Hospital SVP of Facilities and Construction, Dustin Pasteur, thank you so much for joining us on Weather Command.
Thank you all.